Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Fred, and this is TpT Tuesday. I've been gone a long time, so I have a lot to catch you up on. Before I do, I just want to send out all my thoughts and heart to Eastern New Mexico. Right now, there is a fire raging in my hometown of Rito, so it is absolutely devastating. So please send your good thoughts, prayers if you're a praying person, and anything you can do to send good vibes that way. So far, I do not believe that our family home has burned, but there's no way to really know. I'm just trying to look at the fire map and see. Several of my loved ones have lost something, either their parents' house or their own house, or are still in that place like me where they're not really sure. So please just send all the good vibes you can to that area, because it has been a devastating uh, day just trying to figure out what is happening there. So, but we're gonna move on and talk about Teachers Pay Teachers. So, today I'm going to update you on my TPT. I know I owe you a lot of updates, and this video is going to be very long. So I'm gonna organize it as follows. We're gonna do TPT Tuesday. I'm going to give you my full May month recap. I'm going to give you how much I've made in June so far. We're going to talk about the new updates to the storefront and products I'm working on, things like that. And then if you're just here for the TPT business, we'll be done with that. After that, I'm going to be talking about my other jobs and side hustles I've been working on this summer. I have been working like round the clock this summer. So part of the reason why I have been a little bit MIA in the past couple of weeks. And then give you an update on like how I'm earning some extra money. And then I will be doing a personal life update. So grab a beverage. I'm drinking a cherry limeade poppy. TikTok has made me buy this beverage, and it's really yummy, especially since I'm trying not to drink like Coke and Dr. Pepper anymore. I'm trying to get off caffeine. That is difficult. So, yeah. Anyway, it's time for TPT Tuesday. Yay. So let's just start with the storefront, because that's already pulled up for me. So here is my new storefront. I have talked to you guys a little bit about maybe moving directions. As you know, I'm endorsed to teach music, theater, and English language arts this year. Over the course of the year, I went from being primarily a music teacher. Now I'm going to be teaching primarily English language arts. And so I had vacillated about starting a new store. And I had actually said in a video that I was definitely going to start a new store. But then someone kind of pointed out to me that I was already offering resources that were a little bit outside my niche anyway. I've been offering SEL resources since the beginning, as well as some things that could work as an ELA. So for example, we did some like a fun Valentine's assignment that was like analyzing like figurative language and like literary elements of Taylor Swift. And that was like just a fun Valentine's activity. And I marketed it as a music product, but I really do think that it works quite well as an English product as well, because I'm a vocal musician and choral music is so heavily rooted in poetry. This has always been a big crossover for me, and I tend to lean towards the side of music that is a little bit more written. I like the history, I like the lyrics, I like the librettos, I like the storytelling aspect of music. I think it goes hand in hand with theater as well. So all that to say, I'm just gonna try it, and this could be a huge mistake, and if it is, then I'll just change it back and I will move everything over. But right now I have a lot of plans in my music store, a lot of plans. And I have only a few plans for English, because I'm just getting started with teaching English in the online space, and that's just a different beast. And with AI and all the things that are going on, I'm trying to navigate that as a teacher and see what works for me in the classroom. With music, I have been teaching music for years and have like put up products that I know would be engaging. And I'm still sort of discovering that with my music resources. So I just want to see. I have a couple of products in the works for ELA resources. I'm still working on SEL resources as well. And I want to just have a little bit of flexibility. This goes against everything I learned when I started teaching or when I started selling on TpT, to niche down, niche down, niche down. But I have found that I do sell a good balance of SEL as well as music history. So I'm just gonna go with it. Also, as a music seller, I just right now don't see myself selling music theory curriculum simply because there's really good stuff out there that's like on the market, not like in the TpT store market, but like actually resources that I really love and use, like the Alfred books, for example. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel on something just to put music products in my store. I would rather stick to the history side of things because there aren't a lot of great resources out there for secondary music education. And so I want to focus on what I have needed. And this is going to sort of be the same going into my ELA journey with products. I find a lot of great resources, but they tend to be geared towards the classroom. And I almost always lean towards the digital side. And I think that's simply because I'm an online teacher. So that's my justification. If you have a big feeling about it, please leave the comment below because I don't feel super confident in it, but I also did not feel like I wanted to start a new store. I just want to see if the ELA resources take off. So like I said, I can always put it back. We've kind of gone through a rebrand. I was doing Miss Fred Music Ed. Miss Fred Music has always been like my handle for like social media accounts and stuff. So I just thought Miss Fred Music Ed would be cute for a store name, but it does like pigeonhole me into music, and I was already selling ELA or SEL resources. So this gives me a little bit more Ready Freddy. It works really well because again, my name is like Fred. People even call me Freddie in my life. And then also just my nickname has always been, my first name is Krista. People have always called me Krista La Lista, and Lista in Spanish means ready. So it just worked out really well. It feels very strong in my personal identity. So I'm trying it out. So let me know what you think of the new name. And I still will have like my like Miss Fred music products and then my SEL stuff. I'm not changing anything that's already in the store. I just want to give myself more opportunity to branch out and kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Because I still am a relatively new store. I've been on TpT for 6 months now, and done quite well. So let's talk about my earnings. So we're looking at May. Let's do a May recap. I know you're like, May was 100 years ago, Fred, but that's okay. So the month of May was a very slow month for me. It was actually my worst month up to that point. I think June's going to be my worst month, but I've been told to expect that. A lot of schools on my side of the country end at the beginning of May or mid-May. So I was expecting a slow month. I had a few, I was actually expecting to sell more at the beginning, which I did have some bigger sales. But the fact that I had some sales at the end of the month was very surprising to me. Pleasantly so. I've heard from every person on YouTube that not to expect to make any money in summer. So making $62.86 for May was a very exciting amount. So as you can see, I did sell a couple bundles. And then I also had some weird one-off products. Like I sold like a St. Patrick's Day resource. So I kind of was wondering, well, maybe teachers are like spending the last of their budget and just like grabbed some things for next year that just like would work for them. So I thought that was really interesting. But this is my earnings for May, and I'm not mad about it. Let's see my store ranking, 84th percentile. So we're still in a high place, being in the 80s, which is great. So I cannot complain about that. And as you all know, I have been prioritizing other streams of income, which have been more lucrative for me, while knowing that I do want to build this one up. Let's look at June so far. So this is miraculous to me because from everything I've ever heard, they say expect $0, expect zero, expect it to go down to zero. So I was expecting, like, I would have been pleasantly surprised if I had made $7 in the month of June, especially for my first summer, which is so crazy. But I made $30.56 so far in the first 18 days. I even sold something 2 days ago. So again, sometimes I'm selling like 2 or 3 products at once. And a couple of stuff felt like good end of the year stuff, but some of it is just like random things. A lot of music history stuff. That's what is primarily in my store, as well as some of my SEL products. So again, cannot complain about that. I feel really, really, really good. Let's see where my traffic is coming from. Oh, it's down a little bit, but that's okay. It looks like mostly everything is coming from just searching through TpT. So that's cool with me. But now let's look at my all-time, which is the same as this year. So, oh, I guess I've like been buying on TpT for a long time. This is my year earnings to date. This is so exciting. I have made $663.72 in my first 6-ish months on TpT. So that's an average of about $100 a month, which is phenomenal, especially considering I worked really hard to create products in January and February, and then I really tapered down after that when I got busy in the spring. As you can see, my sales have been 832, 663 is what I have earned. So that is so cool. Like I feel so grateful that people are using my products and wanting to buy them. I feel so lucky that something that I created because I thought it would be great for my kids, that other people think it's great for their kids. And um, it's just been wonderful. I even had my evaluation at the end of the year. My principal was like, had written up her evaluation, and she was talking about one of my, I think she was reviewing one of my jazz lessons because it's an asynchronous course. So she was just in my modules. And so she was looking through one of my jazz assignments, which are those interactive Google Slides. And she was just like, this is so much fun. I would love to take your class. You know, she was really complimentary of the work that I put into these lessons. And she said in her evaluation of me that like I was made for online teaching, which was such a huge compliment and just felt so good. Especially because this was my first year as a fully online teacher, even though I have had experience teaching online for a university, like part-time. It was just very affirming, and it made me feel good about the products that I create. Um, and, you know, I think we all get a little imposter syndrome about that. So anyway, that's my update for that. So I'm going to stop sharing now and go into other things. So before I do want to ask about the thumbnail. So as you know, the storefront changed for TpT. Let me just show this one more time. And it looks like the thumbnails are no longer squares. So other sellers, please leave a comment below. What's going on with this? Has this always been like this? Am I just noticing it now because I'm like looking more closely at it? Because I don't remember, I'd have to go back and look at my videos. I don't remember if there were these edges on the side. Has this changed? Are you changing that? Should I think about changing that? I love the look of the new storefront. I thought the old one looked like old school and kind of like, I don't know, AOL-y, if that makes sense to anybody else. It looked like something from AOL days, but this is a lot cleaner. And by the way, I was inspired by my own Mother's Day resource. I did a Mother's Day songs to celebrate Mother's Day, which works as a music thing or just an SEL thing, because it's all about like finding music that reminds you of maternal figures in your life, and then you give it to them. So again, a very neutral assignment, could be for music or not. And yeah, I just love the look of it. And so I copied my own design for that and made my banner look like that. So that's where I got my design from. But this is my new logo as well. So Ready Freddy, and then it's Music SELELA. So that's my plan. But please tell me what's going on with these thumbnails. Okay, so there's my TPT updates. The products that I'm working on creating right now, I'm working on a digital bookshelf. It's really cute. I'm not done with it yet, but it basically is like a really cute digital bookshelf that's going to link to all of these books in the public domain and provide like a free resource for public domain books to students so that they can always have a PDF. I know a lot of kids have tablets now and they do a lot of their reading on tablets. I often give books digitally to students, and even when I'm giving assignments, a lot of times I'll only give a chapter at a time just to chunk it out for them, and then I want them to annotate it and upload it as an annotated assignment. So anyway, this is something that I use a lot. I read on my iPad quite a bit, not for personal reading. For personal reading, I usually listen to an audiobook or I like pick up the physical book. But when I'm reading for class, I like to annotate on my iPad. So I just thought it'd be fun to provide a digital bookshelf, especially as I'm teaching lit next year, AP lit, and they're gonna have a lot of independent reading. So I want to provide a bookshelf for them that has books that are going to give them a great leg up on the AP exam, some good options for them to read. And so yeah, that's what I'm up to. And then it's nice because then I don't have to get them to come pick up a book or go down to the library, or did they lose their book? They always have a copy of it. So they're welcome to go pick up the physical book, or they can have it digitally, and there's no excuse. And that's my favorite part, no excuses. So let's talk about other jobs that I've been doing this summer, because you know me, I'm a multi-employed person. I picked up summer school, so I may have told you that before, but I am teaching English 3 and 4 credit recovery for summer school, as well as English 2 acceleration. So there's a couple of kids who want to get through school faster. I'm not really sure what their situation is, but they asked me if I was willing to teach ELA 2 acceleration. I love that class. Those kids are phenomenal. They work so hard, and I'm enjoying it a lot. In addition to that, I earned a little bit of extra money at the end of the year because I took over teaching a lot of English classes for a teacher who went out on leave. And so by the end of the year, I was teaching English 1 through 4 in addition to my classes that I already taught. So I didn't get paid a whole lot for that, but I did get a stipend for that. They gave me 40 hours, so that was extra for that. I also am just got done with 2 weeks of training. I went down back home to visit in New Mexico, and I did one training online. So I took AP Literature, and I took AP Seminar. I was supposed to take AP Lang, but the AP Lang course was canceled. And so they said, oh, well, you can take AP Lit instead. And I said, I've already taken it. So they suggested that I take AP Seminar. And oh man, that class is so cool. I'd never heard of it. We don't offer it in my district currently. So I'm working with my principal and my superintendent to see if it's something that I can offer this coming year. If not, I want to for sure offer it next year, because it is just every kid should take that class. Every kid. Because if you don't know what AP Seminar is, it's basically a research focused class that is an English credit, but they really learn how to source reliable resources, vet them, make sure that they're reputable, and then they work in groups and individually to ask research questions, find sources, make a claim, and then they have to give speeches and write papers. The AP test is such an interesting and great AP test because it's differentiated. So students who are not a great test taker can, instead of sitting for one exam, the exam takes place over the entire second semester. And they do a group speech project, an informational like research paper, and then they do they have the stimulus packet that comes out that gives them all of these connected resources, and they have to find the theme and then create a research question. Then they have to do an individual presentation as well as a paper for that, and then they sit for an exam. So this is fantastic because it allows students who aren't like maybe the fastest to do really quality work and earn AP credit for that. It also gives them that speech giving skill, which is so important. And I just feel like of all the AP tests that I was exposed to in school, I'm sure there's other really cool AP classes popping up, but this one, it seems like it's actually going to prepare you for college the most. So, and prepare you for any field. So like no matter what field you're in, it's important to be able to look for reputable sources and back up a claim. I also think it'll just help them in life to help them spot like fake news, understand the biases in media, understand what their feed is sending them, and then also make more logical conclusions. Just being in the training for a couple of weeks, kind of reinforce those things that we know as teachers, but reinforce that like what I'm seeing on my feed and what I'm seeing in my life and scrolling through that. So it's been really cool. Ooh. I'm getting a little bit of an extra stipend to bring it home to the point of this conversation, which is earning money and getting a stipend to build these classes over the summer so they're ready to go because they do take some time to build. In addition to that, we're changing up the way we do credit recovery in our school. And so I'm building the English credit recovery classes. So that is before we used canned curriculum. And do not get me started on canned curriculum. You do not want to have me go down that rabbit hole. But I am a teacher like all of you who likes to teach. I like to teach myself. So I thought this would be better if we're teaching ourselves. So I created a credit recovery curriculum for students who fail who need to make up credit for whatever reason. So that's another little side hustle that I'm doing, building those classes over the summer. So it's been a lot to be teaching summer school. And then I also am teaching at the university that I teach at one summer section. So if you're keeping track, that is 6 sections of summer school. That's English 3 and 4, an A and a B, so spring and fall semester, as well as a full year English 2 acceleration, and then the university class, plus creating 4 credit recovery classes for the fall and 2 AP classes. I still might end up teaching AP Lang, which I have not been to the training for now. So the public education department in my state has already said that they would waive that need because they're the ones who had to cancel the training, and that they would just set me up with someone to help me. So I have all my books, but now I have like 3 AP classes, and I know that anybody who's taught AP before is gonna say like that's insane, and it is. That's just what happens when you're a fully online teacher, is insane things get thrown at you. So what are you gonna do about it? I don't know. So I've taught AP music theory before, and that class is very intense, and I feel like they try to cram too much in one year. The English ones feel a little bit more reasonable of like the content that they give you over the course of the year, whereas with the music, I feel like there should be more prerequisites for that than there are, but that's another conversation for another day. That's what I'm doing to earn more money. And then I've mentioned to you before that I was going to maybe start teaching piano lessons, and I still am. I also will start teaching voice lessons. I already have a couple of students lined up, but I'm not starting them just yet because personal life things are happening. So let me first update you on what I'm reading. I just have been devouring the series Scythe. If you have not read Scythe, I had never even heard of this series. I don't know how, like I missed it. It's great. I'm gonna teach the first one to my 11th graders next year, like literally overhauling some of the books I had plans for next year so that my students can read Scythe, because it is such a great book. Fantastic. It'll just spark so many great conversations among your students. I found out about it during my AP Lit training. Our trainer used a just a page of one to do some to kind of model a lesson on satire. And I was like, what is this from? And so she said, oh, it's Scythe. My training gets out at 4 p.m. I immediately got the book and then like stayed up and read the whole thing in one night. It was so good. It was so good. So I'm in the third one now. The first one was just unputdownable. They're all fantastic. I'm really enjoying the third one. The second one was wrecked me. And the third one I'm reading now. So I kind of put a pause on all the other books that I'm supposed to be reading, like my book club books, because I just got completely sucked into this series, Scythe. So if you have not read it, oh my God, read it. It's so good. It's like futuristic, dystopian, utopian, to what extent, if I was going to turn this into an essential question, I would say, like, to what extent are we responsible for the technology we create or something like that. So it's great. It's exciting. And let's see. I was traveling a bunch, visiting some family, eating real Mexican food in New Mexico, and it was so delicious. And so now I am definitely tightening up the budget and going to be eating at home more. Um, and I'm on a hiatus from choir and theater, so I'm taking a break from that and then just trying to focus on getting all of this work done for summer because I have a lot going on in my online teaching world for summer. The reason why I'm not doing piano lessons right now is because I might be moving soon. So nothing set in stone yet, but I have told you all that I am really trying to get to the point where I can buy a house in Colorado, which is very expensive. I actually am closer to being able to do that than I thought that I was. I was thinking I was going to be in this apartment for another year, and that still might be the case. But I'm actually like genuinely, like realistically meeting with people and exploring the possibility of perhaps putting down some roots here in the Denver area. So that's really exciting. I actually went looking at houses this weekend, not just like as a hobby, that's a hobby of mine is to just go to open houses, but actually like genuinely was looking to see if it was something that I would be interested. And I'm looking at houses and townhouses. So stay tuned because there might be some big news in that. Um, it would feel really nice to know that all of the sacrifice that I've been making and all of the extra jobs I've been working would pay off sooner rather than later. So if I'm going to move into a townhouse, that I'm going to live in the townhouse by myself. If I'm going to move into a single family home, my plan is to purchase one with a basement and convert the basement into an apartment and do, what they call house hacking, which is a way to earn extra money. And in many places it would pay for the mortgage and then some. In my state, it would pay half the mortgage, maybe a little more, but that's what I'm looking into the possibilities of all that in meeting. So I've got a meeting tomorrow with someone to talk about the possibilities of that. And so we'll see. That's very exciting stuff. So, um, what else do I have going on personally? Like it's just been a lot of work. I've been working a lot this summer. The AP trainings and then trying to teach summer school at the same time really like was kicking my butt, especially because I was traveling and it was so nice to be home when I got home with my desk that's like a standing desk so I can stand when I want to and to have my lighting back and to have my multiple screens. Wow, I just feel very lucky that I've been able to give myself a really nice setup here at home and I missed it so much. It's this is like you're a workaholic when because most people are like, oh yeah, I'm so happy to be home to sleep in my own bed. And I'm like, I'm so happy to be home to work at my own desk. So if you can relate to that, please leave a comment below because I missed my desk more than I missed my bed. And I have a great bed, but my parents have a really nice bed in their guest room. So I really enjoyed that bed just fine. And I like staying in hotels. I never have a hard time sleeping in hotels. I actually probably sleep better in hotels than I do at home simply because I'm like out and about all day and then I crash a little bit when I get back. So I missed my desk. I missed my chair, my ergonomic chair. I missed my standing desk. I missed my screen. It inspired me to get another big screen. So I might get a second. Right now I have like my laptop set up and then my big screen, and I might just get a second big screen and then like close the laptop and get a webcam because I'm like that um in love with having my big screens back. So anyway, I'm rambling again. I hope you all are doing well. I haven't watched any YouTube TPT videos in a long time just because I've been so busy and traveling. So I'm going to put those on in the background while I finish my digital bookshelf and some other things that I'm going to put in the store and work on my AP classes. So I'm excited to see what you all have been up to, how you are adjusting to the new storefront, what you've been up to products wise, what you've made, how you're doing. And I just want to let you know, like, if you're another TPT seller, I am super rooting for you. Um, the thing that I did not expect coming out of being a TPT seller was this community. Like, I get so invested in people's personal stuff, whether they're remodeling their home or, they're auditioning for a show or, um, you know, starting another side hustle or trying new products out or hitting their milestones. You know, whether it's product amount or followers, or I'm rooting for you all. It's just so nice to be in such a wonderful, beautiful community. And thank you for being a part of mine. And I will see you next Tuesday where I can tell you all about what I've been up to and try to get back to my regular posting schedule. So next week I'm going to ISTE, which is very exciting, and I'll tell you all about that as well. So have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.